Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the News Behind the News with Rav Kantav on Mix 94.7 FM. And this afternoon, as promised, I have here with me someone who can really give us a reel as to, what took place a few weeks ago when we noticed, there were blockades in Sandy Ground, and particularly in French Quarter. I have here with me a community leader, and basically, there's so much more to that story where we can speak as far as, government representatives concerned, but I wanted to talk to a man on the street, basically, to get a real gist of, the local population's sentiments of the developments that have taken place on the northern side of our border. So I have here with me Mr. I was going to say Threeplex. I forgot your government name.
So this Morvan, better known as Triplex and Tree, So good afternoon, everybody. And this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, indeed. So to add to him, he's also an artist, which I respect. We have a lot of artists here in St. Martin, and so that's the artist name, Triplex. But to start off, man, I met you a few months ago, and I've been following your work for months. As far as I noticed, particularly during the pandemic, you started off this campaign that has taken over French Quarter in particular. Mm-hmm. Getting people to come out to exercise. Mm-hmm. You literally seen the transformations that are taking place as far as, and I love that you see seniors, you see adults, and you even see children. And I think that is a great form of community building. So I guess we could start off with what was it like for you growing up in that community?
Okay, we talking from a child growing up, or
yeah. So take us, I guess, a memory lane.
All right. So the majority of us know French Quarter, especially you could carry it back 2-3 decades ago. Even before I was born, French Quarter always had this name, how to say,
like a stigma?
Yeah, French Quarter always had this stigma as a bad place, as a violent place, as a violent community. Mm-hmm. And I mean, when I was young, I could say yes, I agree, because when I was young growing up, it was more worse than it is here now. And that's where at a certain time in my age, I myself got in a lot of trouble growing up in the hood, in French Quarter, in the community, because of you could call it the bad influence, you could call it whatever. I self took part of that stigma at a certain time of my life. And years goes by, as I became a older person, as I grew older, it was no other choice but for me to take a stand in the village where I came from, in the community where I came from, as in to change certain way of the hood, if you can call it like that. Mm-hmm. So like I said, I myself was running wild at a younger age, dark clouds, dark nights, and that was just French Quarter. Mm-hmm. So so at a certain time in my life, that's where I decided to make a change in the community. And
that started with yourself.
And started with myself, because I couldn't even step forward in the community, even though I'm from there, even though I was born there and raised there. If myself couldn't even change the way I live, change the way I speak, change the way I think, change everything about myself, and change my surrounding as well too. Because like go admit, for like a decade ago, I mean, I was involved in a sort of a gang, we can put it that way. Mm-hmm. And I got myself into trouble. When I mean trouble, even with the authorities, with the law, that I even got incarcerated for. Mm-hmm. And it was a lesson learned. And now things has changed just dramatically since that time to now.
Gotcha.
Uh-huh.
And when we talk about then issues of the bad influences, getting involved in getting led astray, let's put it like that. Mm-hmm. But that's usually the symptom, not necessarily the root.
No, because I won't say I came from a bad family or a bad background. No. So I will never blame it on that,
Mm-hmm. But what do you think about the environment that was so...
Well, I can say when I call it bad influence, it could be, to be quite honest, I could put some blame on it. I don't want to I don't want to make it a blame game.
Yeah, I got
but
you.
I could put some blame on it. You know, it could be from what I see on TV. It could be the music industry. It could be even individuals in the community. You know that yeah, I could even put it on that took me in the wrong direction at that time of my life. You know, so I can't even blame it on a bad family or raise up. You know, even though you might have a little one too in that
that
circle,
sphere, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't put the blame there.
Yeah, so that was
because
more...
my family, the majority of them are church, are Christians, and and so it's godly people. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because then that's like a discussion that I guess touches on nature versus nurture. So more so not necessarily what your environment. And again, which I noticed that is something that you and your friends are working towards changing.
Exactly. So I could kindly say like it's like it needed a start somewhere, and somebody have to start it, because if there's a negative, somebody have to start the negative. And if there's a positive, somebody have to start the negative. I mean the positive.
Yeah.
So, I know how it feels to do bad. I did bad at a certain time of my life. Now today, I know how it feels to do good. And that is the narrative. The change of narrative. Whenever you hear me speak about the change of narrative, it's including that too. Because it was a certain time of my life that things was dark, things was bad, and now it's like, no, like this is not the way. Because if while I'm speaking here right now, I'm having flashbacks. I've no brothers I've lost, and through incarceration, they are no longer here with us. They're no longer here with us. They're gone. And that is true. It could be wrong decisions. It could be wrong place, wrong time. It could be the way they've been living. And it makes no choice. So me as a growing person today, when I see a young individual making mistakes I've made in my past, it's like no way I can see that as a young little homie or a young brother and accept he's doing what I did in the past that got me into some terrible situations. And I cannot accept seeing him do the same mistakes I did,
Yeah, because you get the consequence.
Of course,
Yeah.
So this is where my it's a calling from my brother.
I hear you. Like you had to go through it so you could teach it.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel you.
At a certain time, I was like, okay, why am I going through that? But now today, my life is like I understand everything.
Okay, it makes you who you are today.
Everything like there's nothing that nobody can tell me about that because Benja done that. Not to talk about it, but
I
to be
follow
honest, Benja done that.
I follow you.
So there's no way today I'm gonna continue doing what I've been done that got me into trouble. Done with that. Like you know what I'm saying.
Listen to reminds me of two quotes I would say. One of them, even as you mentioned your family, God-fearing background, is a scripture that says, when I was a child, I thought like a child, I behaved like a child, I acted like a child, but when I became a man, I put away all childish things. And in addition to that, the next quote is, knowledge makes one impossible to be a slave.
I love that.
Because
touch highly on that.
for sure. Because if you were to revert back to the life you live, then that's a choice. Then it's a choice.
Exactly. But like I told you earlier too, I can say okay, I regret making certain things, but
naturally,
at the same time, it may be who I am right now. Me in the front of you talking on this mic. I couldn't have that conversation with you about that if I've never been through that.
True.
And nobody can hear me speaking about that if I've never been through it. There are folks that talk about things they never done and they never been through. And that's cool, to each his own. But I can speak on it because I've been through it, so I can have a conversation on that. I could direct a young brother into, not to do that because, bro, I've done that. And this ain't the way, my brother.
It ain't worth it.
It's going to lead you here or lead you there. I've been led one of those places, So, so this is where I feel like I've been through it and it was a lesson for me. And it was for me for the future. You know, it was for me to do what I'm doing here right now, to be in front of you on this mic telling you about that, you know what I'm saying? And have your listeners listening to me speak. Those that know me, those that look up to me, you know, they can hear me speak. So, and if I speak so, it's because it's real.
Yeah, all things come together, you know, for a purpose, basically. So another thing that comes to mind even listening to you is then, how would you describe, you know, the education system? Of course, it is a challenge. It is something, a challenge in the sense we have to where, you know, you have a large population that speaks a different language or come from different backgrounds. And then the system that you're learning in is foreign, literally. Yeah, while it is what governs you,
exactly.
But it's still foreign in that sense. So would you say, well, yes, I guess how would you detail the education system as far as feeling like you were prepped or that it was adequate enough, that not just you but your peers and so forth, to become productive members of society and understand what it takes to, you know, be a contributing citizen? Okay,
no, this is an issue, right? Okay, I could speak on myself a little bit. I did my whole schooling on the French side from in
kindergarten.
French, and the French you say, from CP to au lycée.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be kindergarten to college. Okay, you know. And I can speak French fluently. Now, when it comes to the subject, you know, I can tell you straight, I failed in French, in French subject, even though I can speak it, you know. And that's simple due to at home I speak English. Everything is English. My
TV,
my associates is English. I grew up watching English TV, you know. So it to be honest, it's only when I go to school I speak the French. You know, only when I go in school in front of the teacher, even in class with our classmates, we speak English between each other. You know, so only when we talking to the teacher we speak French.
Yeah.
So Allah played a big role in my life and a lot of people as well too. You know, because the majority of us we grew up speaking English.
Yeah, because it's like there's a barrier, and that particularly I noticed more on the northern side where, you know, you really see then that limitation allowing this privilege to exist.
Yes, it's true.
That especially easy because of the political system for Europeans to come in and, well, you know, they have the dominance in whether it's jobs, the economy, and so forth. Yeah,
you're so correct on that. You know. And as I was saying as well, where was I?
Well, you were saying like you speak French and
you put a French test in front of me and an English test, I would dominate the English, even though I can do the French as well too. But the French is just different, you know. It's just different, and that's where a lot of us fail as well too, because like I said, basically we grew up speaking our first language is English, you know, even though we're born in a French territory or whatever, but it's English. And oftentimes if you have to go into a meeting or whatever, oftentimes it will be French, you know. So it's very good when we have representatives, leaders in our community that speaks both languages, you know. So it will be a better conversation between us. So you speak in English, but you also give deliver the message in French too. Yeah, you know. So
because I noticed you had to collect the council meetings. They're done in French.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas like for us, well, we have our parliament meetings in English. You know, although the laws are in Dutch, but so it's like you just notice a sort of a distancing between the institutions of power from the masses in that sense.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, you know, in addition to just speaking of politics, then looking at, you know, the political system, it was first a commune, then it changed to collectivity. Do you find like even with something like that, you guys were well educated or well aware of?
I would say no. I would say no, because even okay, let me try to keep it a little. Even today we are seeing the side effects. Even today we are seeing the consequences. I would just call it the side effects. I would just say the side effects, you know. But as the show go on, I will dive more deep into that.
Yeah. But so what do you think is necessary to at least raise that awareness? What do you think is lacking or could be done?
Communication by the people that are in power and the citizens of the island. That is lacking on a big scale. That's lacking in a big scale, on a big scale.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, you guys do have what you call it? Let's say district councils. If I'm mistaken.
Yes, we do.
But do you find it? What is it that it's not performing well enough, or
like I'm gonna say, I just said it. Yes, we do have district council, but what is lacking, like you asked me, communication between the people that are in power and the citizen. I can use myself for example. I play a big role in my community, and there's a lot of information that circulates, that things that people in the community needs to know that we don't know. And if I use myself for example, there are things that happens and that I don't know and I will find out after. Not to say that I'm supposed to know, but like we don't know anything. It's just that there's lack of a communication skill. It's just that, You think it needs to be really fixed on a high scale.
What I'm thinking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, because okay, we have the media. These things are really emotional for me, because
I understand.
These are conversations I have on a daily basis, especially when I meet people that are affiliated with people that are in power, and we will always have that discussion, and it's crazy. Like even before I come here, my brother, like even before coming here, I mean, I went and do a jogging this morning. And after that, I met an elderly lady that pulled me on the side, after I was stretching and stuff. And she saw me. She from French Quarter, Never really met in person, but she always wanted to meet me. And luckily this morning, she saw me, and we chatted a little bit. And then she explained me one of her situation that's been going on and asked me what you think about her. And I was like, to be honest, ma'am, I never thought on that, but this makes perfect sense. So then I asked her, like, okay, you ever carry this this concern to anybody else in the community or whatever, the district council or whatever? And her reply was simple, like, you don't see these people. Boldly, like, you don't see these people. You do not see these people. And she has carried a couple concerns already and no answers was given. And she decided to come and tell me that. You understand me? This morning she decided and come to open up to me and was like, I've been wanting to see you. Because I was stretching after my work. I was stretching right across from me, and she saw me after dropping out 2 daughters to school. And she was walking, going to a vehicle, and she saw me, and we chatted a little bit and explained me that, and be like, it don't make no sense because she do not see these people. We have 4 vice presidents of French Quarter, and I asked her if she ever carry her concern to the vice presidents, and she replied simple. She didn't tell me no, she didn't tell me yes, but she told me she don't see these people, she don't know how to get to them, and whenever she do carry a message or carry a concern to whatever, nothing is getting done. So you see, this is the kind of problem we have and needs to be, because me on a personal level, my brother, you see the elderlies, I love them a lot, and if they're in pain, I'm in pain too, especially where I'm from. If they are in pain, I'm in pain too. I'm a real loving person, and if this lady can come to me and shed her worries with me, I mean, that says a lot, my brother, It's obviously because, okay, she see the work I'm doing, she see she sees the work I'm doing, and, so she believes she can come to me and tell me that, and I might do something about it, which is very good, and I love that. I respect that, you know what I'm saying? And that's something I'm going to speak about as well, probably on the program too, as the show, as the program go along, we're going to touch on different stuff.
Yeah, but I get the bottom line is that you would have appreciate more in general that, that the leaders are more connected in that sense.
That's what I'm saying, my brother.
So like
communication skills, like
democracy.
We're lacking communication, and since I've been doing what I'm doing, I've gotten closer to a lot of them, which is good, which is good because everybody that can just go, but okay, I can, and other folks, and I always bring that to their attention, I've been in touch with the president himself, from the collectivity,
Yeah, he's worked out with you.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
And this is a conversation we had on like 2 or 3 occasions, like Mr. Le President, like we need communication between you and the people, I'm not here to, I respect everybody. Okay, they will have folk that will go and bash and say this. I'm not.
Yeah, I know you're not trying to be aggressive.
That's not me. Because I communicate, I'm neutral as possible. I communicate with everyone.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, Mr. the President, we need this done. We need this done. Listen, I understand, okay, you can't get everything done. I understand, okay, you know, we had Irma, we had a pandemic, we had the bromate in the water, we had other situations while you wasn't doing your mandate. But we need this done. The people are crying for this. The people are asking this. The people wants to know this. And it's just that, and I've told it to him directly to like, we need I don't know, but the communication needs to be more up to par.
Well, what I'm thinking of perhaps is
I'm going based on that straight communication. Like, we do not know what's going on. We need to know what's going on. We need to know what is going on in our community. It could be wherever, French Quarter, Grand Cas, Senegal, Marigot, whatever is being done, we need to know. Even though we don't know A to Z, but we need to know what's happening because we are worrying. We are we are we need to know what's up. You know?
I get what you're saying.
Communication is what's needed on a higher level. You know.
Yeah, because so listening to you, and even from my assessment of the situation over there, I'm particularly thinking about the media because I do fully understand what you're saying as far as government collectivity really responding to the concerns of the community and also letting people know what exactly is taking place, what's going on that affects my life, that could better my life, etc.
It doesn't matter.
But the situation, I think that maybe is a challenge is media, you know, because you do have to be honest. For example, with radio is a very important tool for communication, but often it's skewed or overly biased, so you're not necessarily getting straight facts.
That's a problem.
And then even with,
I hope you have enough time because these are you know what I'm saying?
We got some time.
Okay, let's go.
But even as far as the newspaper, like, you know, I remember there's this guy over here on our side, his name is Jose Lake Jr. His father was one of the first locals to start a newspaper, right? And he continued along with it. He had his challenges doing it and stuff. But I remember something in a discussion with him, he would always say, you know, a newspaper is like the professor and the country is a classroom. So every day, you know, whatever is written, you're educating the people of what's taking place, what's going on.
Exactly.
So when you have limitation of news that is factual, that is unbiased, that is in-depth, investigative, more than just the surface, here you have that you're cultivating the minds of your population, that they understand, well, you know, they're more critical and they're more observant. But when that is lacking, I think that is what the result of the result of the lack is what you're seeing now.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. That it's exactly that. So now, when you have that going on, expect for something to take place, because, like you just mentioned, when you have the lack of these things, especially the factual news, we speak in the factual news. And then when you have the masses, the majority of people asking for the factual news, wants to know what's taking place and these sort of things, and when they are not getting that, expect something, expect it, you know? Yeah, expect something.
Gotcha. So one of the things I would like to touch on is, of course, the change that took place where, you know, again, you guys literally have like the whole French Quarter exercising basically. How did it start, particularly with you? At what point did you realize, man, I need to change my health and so forth?
I've always had it in me from a younger age, you know. It could be with my boys, it could be on the block or whatever. I was always the person to be more health conscious, you know. More will bring their attention, that awareness, like, bro, like, yo, bro, what I be, bro, like, cha, bro, like, you sure that, you know what I'm saying? I was always that person. But when it fully took place, it's during the whole pandemic, you know. You know, we was all at home, couldn't move much, couldn't do nothing. So it was the time, like, take advantage of the situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I fully worked on myself. It's like nobody couldn't tell me nothing. No medical doctor, no scientist, nobody don't tell me nothing. It's between me and God, and we're going to put in this work together. So I was, even at time I separate myself, it could be from the media. I took a break from the media. like shut down from the media itself. You know, and I would tell all the homies, yo, bro, this is what's happening. Okay, you're going to hear from me in a certain 2 weeks' time. I'm going through a fast. I did a whole fasting period. I'm going through this. Yeah, my brother, my sister, this is what's going to take place. If you don't hear from me, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be a little active on the app, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't on social media. And I just wanted to work on myself. Just wanted to work on myself to change everything. I was always tired of everything, you know? And prior to that, I was still doing a couple of stuff. But it was like, okay, this is the right time, you know. You can't go outside, you can't be on the road, we can't do this. The system told us you can't do this. So let me take advantage of the situation and work on myself. You know what I'm saying? So it started from the whole, you know, I would call it pandemic, you know what I'm saying? That's what I like to use, you know. Started from the whole pandemic. And it was a total change for me. I did a 30 days fast. Not straight fast, you know, we have 4 days fast and then 1 day eating, but a whole fasting period, a whole lot of prayers, a whole lot of meditation, a whole lot of exercise, a whole lot of detoxing, a whole lot of... My brother, I just wiped out my whole cabinet.
Overhaul.
Yeah, I just wiped out my whole cabinet, my whole fridge, and I was like, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want that. And I don't want and I don't want. And this is what I want. This is what I want. And I'm speaking for myself, eh?
Yeah.
This is what I want for me. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. If it's time for me to be ignorant, I'm going to be ignorant right now because my health matters. My health comes first. And I understand that without your health, you have nothing. So I was like, okay, let me work on myself. Let me get my health back up. And also, too, I was suffering from a particular disease that I had to do an operation on during that same period of time, you know. And I was always a true believer in disease can be reversed. You know, I was always a true believer in that. You know, a lot of us learn about, you know, Sebi during the whole lockdown or whatever. A lot of us learn about him, but I was always following him prior to that too, you know. But that was just a time for me to work, just to work on myself, my brother, and that's when the whole change started for me, you know. Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you straight, I used to eat, I ain't gonna say everything, but my diet wasn't up to par at all.
From McDo to Chinese food?
No, not Chinese food. Because like I tell you, I was always a little health conscious, you know what I'm
so
saying?
But
I would mess with a little McDo now and then, not no strictly thing, but I would eat but not Chinese. I cut Chinese out, let's say, good 6-7 years ago, I cut out Chinese.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? But the little juices I would drink, the little ice cream,
and sweets
and the sweets. Bro, I don't think nobody could have loved cake more than me. I was a cake baby, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I was a cake baby. Now I don't want to see that, like, you know. So I had to cut everything. Or like I told you, I empty out my cabinet, empty out my fridge. And I was like, I don't want that. I made a firm decision, like, that gotta go, that gotta go, that gotta go. A lot of reading. But I think I read more during that 12-month period of that whole lockdown or whatever than my whole life. I did a lot of reading. A lot of research. I just wanted to be, and y'all hear me speaking about it, I just wanted to be on trap. I just wanted to be on trap. Unlearn and relearn. Things that serve me no purpose. I don't want to know about it. I don't want, like, it was a whole rejuvenation
like a
package.
Reset, yeah.
A reset, but a whole rejuvenation package, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you, after that 30 days, my brother, hey, I don't know, huh? But I could call it magical, and because a lot of us don't know about fasting, you know. But I mean, like, I cannot explain it's something that cannot be explained by human language, but it's magical. I don't know what words to use it, but it's magical. It's amazing. It's beautiful.
So overall, that was your transformation period.
Transformation. It started from there. I lost a lot of weight because it was my choice to get rid of everything out of my body. I dropped.
Yeah, you were pretty heavy set.
Yeah, I was really heavy. I dropped all my weight. There were those that didn't understand, like, yo, Chiwa, going on with you, but you okay? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got
you were sick.
Yeah. I got a little something like, Chiwa, you okay, my brother? Yo, Chiwa, you good? But yo, you're looking too good now. I got that.
Yeah, but I can definitely say,
even from friends, from families, I got that.
I can definitely say it's because it's radio, but I mean, honestly, when you look at your before and after picture, it's
you know.
Yeah, you wonder, wow.
But when you see me now, when people see me now, you know what I'm saying?
They understand
what I did. But like I told you, my mind was made up. So I don't care if a family member tell me, boy, yo, what you doing into it? Like, my mind was made up. I was ignorant at that time. When I mean made up, like, don't tell me no. I'm doing what I'm doing between me and God. Me and God had a conversation. I made a deal with the Most High. I made a deal at that moment. Was like, Father, listen, I need this done, and I'm going to do this. Like, it's an exchange. What's up? We in it? Okay, let's go. And I was gone from there.
Okay.
You know, I was gone from there, and everything just kick off from there. I start to learn about health, start to learn about what our body needs, start to learn about nutrition, start to learn about things that I've learned about that I had to get out of my mind, like things what teachers taught me.
Unlearn and relearn.
Unlearn and relearn. It's basically just that. Unlearn and relearn. Untrapped.
So we're going to on that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the news behind the news with Ralph Cantav on Mix 94.7 FM. And today I'm joined with Morvan, better known as Triplex, community leader from French Quarter. And man, I really enjoyed this conversation. Of course, it's real as can be, and I appreciate your authenticity. But also talking about your experience growing up in the community, the work that you're doing, and especially in regards to the health movement. So we last talked about what you personally went through. Mm-hmm. So what was it like now getting people on board?
Okay,
because
that became very, very easy for me. It became very easy for me because when I see what I went through and what it has done to me, and when I see that, and like I told you, I had a particular, illness that was going on, and when I see that all that was disappeared after my transformation, like bro, it's like what can you tell me, like when I really understand, like bro, like you put the right foods in your body, mm-hmm. You exercise, you fast, you do these things that we're supposed to be doing that our ancestors did. When I see that, okay, when I put this back, when I start doing this stuff, it's like my illness gone. It's like, bro, that's it. I'm going to tell you this straight up. I don't suffer from headaches. No longer headache, migraine. I don't get sick. These things is like things that used to happen to me. I no longer get this kind of I no longer fall in this situation anymore. So it's like it's a mindset I have today that is so strong. Like, bro, don't even try to take me out of my belief. Like, don't do it. Don't. We can have a conversation about. Don't try to take me out of my belief. To each his own. I'm living this way. I believe in what I believe in. You believe in what you believe in, fine. But I'm going to share some knowledge. You can share some knowledge, but I'm going to share some knowledge. And by me started doing that, it kicked off from there. Started this whole guerrilla movement. Basically, if you ask why gorilla, it's simple. Gorillas, their diet is the closest to us. They eat average of 95% plant-based, vegan, natural food, the creator's food. They're strong, you know what I'm saying? They're strong, and it's basically just that. So started this whole,
with abs too.
Yeah, everything, They're basically strong, my brother. Yeah. So it's like, okay, me and my guys, we came up with I won't call it a plan. We just came up with this and like, my brother, let's take this health
to another
level. Because look what's happening around us. If I could speak of my community, my brother, this is where I talk about Chava. Like, whoa. When I speak of my community, right? When I see the age on our people and the situation that they are going through because of the things they eat and the way they live. My brother, like, we are sick people. Like, we are a sick people. We never been that way. And it's getting worse. And to some of us, it's like, it's normal. Like, it's okay. Like, it's life. And like, I really get sick, but this happened to me. That's normal. No. It's not normal. And it's not normal. Like, it's not normal for you to be at 25 years old and you have to take a high blood pressure pill. Do not tell me that's normal. You can't tell me you're waking up in the morning checking, boy, my pressure, I go by the doctor and prescribe me medication. And that's not normal. You're 25, sister. That's not normal. And where I have a big problem, I would love if people like yourself and others, everybody are pushing their narrative on how life's supposed to be, and that's fine. But whatever narrative we are pushing, we also need this narrative as well. Your diet plays a big role.
It has to be balanced.
You know what I'm saying? You also have to push this narrative as well. You have to take care of yourself. You have to eat proper. You have to exercise. You have to get sunlight. My brother, these things are here for us. Like, we have fruit trees. We could, like right now, I could go right now, it's grape season. I could go and pick some grapes and eat. Like, these things are fruits are in season. We have to eat them things. They are here for us. But a lot of us just ignore that. We have some herbal, we call it bush tea, growing in our backyard. We ignoring that and going for other stuff. My brother, these things are for us. You know, I strongly believe, and it's factual, herbs are the healing for the nation. It's been said over and over and over and over and over from many health specialists. We have these things. Why don't we use it? Why do we ignore these stuff? They are here for us. The sunlight is here for us. We afraid of the sun. Go out in the morning time, get some good 10, 15, 20 minutes of sunlight. It's needed for us. These things are here for us to use, but we ignore these things and take up everything that has been made, that has been created, and we what's the word I'm looking for?
So as adopt?
Not really. I'm looking for a strong, not at that, but we
say it in French, maybe.
Okay, but anyway, we celebrate these things. You know what I'm saying? And
embrace.
We embrace. That's the word. Thank you. We embrace these stuff and ignore the stuff we truly need for our health. My brothers and sisters, if you don't have your
bottom
health,
is like prevention is better than cure.
It's basically that. And my brothers and sisters, if you don't have your health, you have nothing. You have nothing. And where I'm from, bro, a lot of us are suffering from some tremendous illnesses, and it's crazy. It's crazy. And like I say, it could be, you could call it whatever it could be. I no longer call it a journey for me. I call it a lifestyle, because I've been living this way for the past 2 years, and I will continue living this way as I, you know what I'm saying, as I grow and because it's needed. It's needed. And if nobody ain't going to talk about it, I will. Yeah,
because it boils on to, again, changing the narrative. Because
exactly.
Now you're seeing, you're seeing a lot of youths come out, children as well.
It starts from young. It starts from young. We have a lot of... no, man, it starts from young. It needs to be done. So the gorillas are doing it, and we're going to continue doing it, and it needs to be done. Like something has to get done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things I definitely want to touch on, like I mentioned in the intro, is, of course, 2 weeks ago, I think it's 2 weeks now, we saw when French Quarter's blocked off and so forth. And there are some concerns that the community have. And even with that event, I don't think it was well understood who all were involved in stuff. But what I would like to focus on in particular is of the challenges, I would say maybe, of French Quarter as a district. I mean, it's often regarded as, this forgotten child. It's literally one of the biggest, I think is the biggest district on the French side. But also, it was kind of mind-blowing to see that French Quarter in a sense is suffering from like redlining and even being like a food desert and so many other stuff. So what can you share, as far as the main concerns people have, especially after the impact of Hurricane Irma?
Hurricane Irma played a major role in everything that's going on here right now. For all over the world, it ain't even just a French Quarter, all over St. Martin. But let's speak on French Quarter a little bit. Hurricane Irma was 3 years ago, averagely. And up to now, right? Up to now, in my community, right? We don't have a post office. That our internet sucks, and there are so many things that is going on, and still with all these cries, right? We have a situation that is going on that people are basically losing their land. And losing their land, even though you have the right paperwork for it, even though you have everything they ask you for, all the proof, all the documentations for it, it's like they want us to just have our like they want us to be. It's like, not saying it's facts, but it's like they want us to be godless. They want us to be unhealthy. They want us to be sick. They want us to be crazy. They want us to be to be trapped, to be misinformed, to be running around wild, and just have us leave with our jockey and our boxes and our panty and don't have nothing. And it's becoming a time where it's simple. Enough is enough. You know, it's simple. Enough is just enough. It's something that's been happening. Like you spoke about a strike. That strike that took place 2-3 weeks ago. There have been warnings before that strike took place. When I mean warnings, right? A lot of people, was against it. A lot of people was for it, but they didn't like how it was done. I mean, like, and I'm gonna get that after. But prior to the strike, right? I could count on my two hands. There were many and many and many meetings between the leaders of the strike, the collective, XXM resistance. They are leaders of it as well. Between they and the prefect, between they and the president, there's been many meetings before that strike took place. There are some people that don't follow the news, and it's okay. But I need people to understand. First of all, let me make this clear. I wasn't and I'm not the leader, of the strike, but I support it because I know what's happening. I'm involved in what's happening. 2 years ago, there's been a big strike, bigger than what happened 2-3 weeks ago for the same land issues for the Piperian.
Yeah.
2 years ago. And it was worse than what happened recently. It was worse, where innocent had to pay, like people cars getting light on fire for no reason. It was more crazy. So it's not like it's a first time thing, like no, this same strike happened 2 years ago. But 2 years ago, it was only for the Piperian. It was only for the land issues. Now, 2 weeks ago, also for the land issues, forced vaccination, sanitary pass, our beaches, and a lot more. So, you see the difference, my brother? And like I said, before that strike 2 weeks ago, there were many meetings to avoid this strike, to avoid the blockage. There were always
But what were the meetings? What were the content of the meetings? As far as were the meetings where it's just everybody at loggerheads, or
No. They were meeting to come to a conclusion, to come to a solution. Okay. Because to be honest, we want solutions. We want things. We could ask for we need 10 things, but we won't get all 10. But let's work on 5. Let's work on 4. Let's work on something. Nothing has been worked. Disrespectful meetings between the citizens of the leaders and the prefect. Disrespectful meetings over and over and over and over and over. When you have people, when you have citizens that is watching the news and watching these meetings and see what's happening, it's going to hurt you from behind the screen. It's going to be like, okay, what is this preferred narrative do? What is his agenda like? I mean, we want solutions. We do not want to block the roads. We do not want these things. Because there have been roadblocks prior to 3 weeks ago. But there have been roadblocks to let them know, like, listen, we want something, but then be roadblocks, and 2, 3, 4 hours later, it has been lifted, We have I forgot to mention about this. We have the hospital workers, When you have hospital workers on strike, my brother, when you have our firemen on strike, my brother, something is wrong. So if we eliminate the citizens and look at these important people in our life, the hospital workers and the firemen, the firefighters, when you have these guys are against what's happening, because last year there was the forefront. You know what I'm saying? They was making sure everything's straight, and now the system are turning their back on them. So when you have these guys in jeopardy, what does that tell you? Something is wrong. When you have the hospital workers that is against the forced vaccination, that do not want to take it for whatever reason, then something is wrong. They do not want to be forced. They are losing their jobs. They are doing all these things. People are going to go crazy. When you have we have a hospital worker that worked 15 years. serving the people, taking care of the people, took care of my aunt, took care of my mother, and now today they want to make her lose her job because of the rules they want to bring into our territory. It's going to cause a problem. When you have the ladies, and I ain't even speaking about the men, when you have the empresses standing in front of the barricade for 2 weeks strong or maybe even more, that is against what's happening, that is fighting. When you have the women, like, come on, that shows some, that should awaken people though. So, and when you have as like I'm saying, she's the leader, she's in front of our women, not no men, no, because I can do it. But when you have she decide to do it, it's like, and then you have others that are going to bash her because for whatever reason, like we need to understand, like prior to this strike, like I said, there had been meetings to find a solution so this don't occur. Because it seems like only when you have blockage, that will get attention.
Yeah, but you don't want it to become now just a norm.
Yes, not a norm. Not answers no, but that's when we get attention. Because when these guys go in the meeting, they say, we go in the meeting, they're leaving with no solution. Yo, okay, we don't want to do this. We don't want to look like chaos. We don't want to look crazy. We don't want it to become a norm. Go in the meeting again. Let's talk. Let's discuss. No solution. What's going to take place then? Like the people are frustrated. What's going to take place? When you have people crying because they're coming for the land, what's going to take place? I mean, grandma and grandpa can't fight. They can't stand up. So what's going to happen? Their kids going to get involved. The grandsons, the granddaughter, the nieces, and everything, they're going to get involved because they're the stronger one. They can't do nothing. But if they don't stand up, they're going to lose everything they have. And like I told you earlier, they want to leave grandma with just her panty and her brassiere. They want to leave grandpa with just his jockey in his drawers. That's what they want to do. And that's what is happening. And people are not going to leave that happen. Okay? Because you cannot have nothing. You cannot have no vehicle, no money. But you see, when you have your property, you have your land, that's everything you could. There's people that do not care about nothing else in this world once they have their home now. So when you take that home from that person, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So that's where the frustrations come from. There's a lot more of frustration. But when you have these things happening for over years and years and years and years and years, people are going to blow. People are going to blow. We don't want people to be crazy. We don't want people to act like savages. Right now, we see what's going on with we're going on with Guadeloupe and Martinique. You see what's happening. Not to compare to St. Martin. Because we are not on that level. Not to compare to St. Martin. But I'm not saying that the people won't take it to that level. But we are not on that level. And look at that. We have brothers and sisters. We have friends in Guadeloupe. Before coming here, I called 2 of my brothers in Guadeloupe and asked them if they're safe because I see what's happening. People's houses are getting burned like joke. Even innocent, but people are, and this is because of one thing. Their agenda. Their agenda is against us. Not saying that we can't have a discussion, but no discussion. No, it's like okay, you're the lead, you're the president, you're the prefer. I'm a citizen. I'm coming to you with this. Listen, why can't we work this way? Like, why can't we implement this? It's like, no, so I can't tell you nothing. It goes your way. Is forget me, and then we just.
What you're witnessing basically is the brunt of colonialism. Yeah, that we don't necessarily have the time to. We have the time to go deep, go into that. For today, at least. But I guess to wrap it up, because you don't have the power, you don't have the decision-making power at the end of the day. It is a command of the French state.
It's a command of the French state, but there's no way. This and that, that's understood. But there's no way that the people. Okay, I don't want. You see, this is the thing. Okay, we're gonna skip that. We're gonna skip that part.
Yeah, I'm following you. So there's something else I wanted to add. Okay, so basically then. All right, the strikes have been paused for now. Do you see any fruitfulness coming out of it? The Prefer, I think, in his last statement, he said there are certain things they will try to get in action.
Right, before, tonight again, we have a meeting in French Quarter by the Council District, on the bar field, we have see me. We have a meeting there again tonight. Again, to listen to what the people have to say. Because like I said earlier, there were those who was against the strike. There was those who was for the strike but was against how it was done. There was those who had whatever to say. We're calling out. And again, I'm also calling out everyone that has a word to say or whatever, come out and give your word. Last week, we had a meeting in Sunny Ground. just for everybody to speak. Those who suffered from it, those who felt whatever, come out and vent. Say what you have to say. Don't just stay behind your phone screen and bash and bash and bash and bash and bash. Come out in real life and speak in real life and say what's up. Speak whatever the situation, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're suffering from, come out and speak. We had it 2 times last week. We had it one in Standing Ground, and then we had it in French Quarter last week. Now we're having it again tonight at 6 p.m. in French Quarter again, concerning this whole strike, this whole protest, this whole everything. Because the leaders, they are still trying to find a way so the people do not feel that hit. Because as you can see, you asked me if it's paused for the moment. I'm going to tell you this. I cannot even answer you because nothing ain't looking good. Nothing ain't looking good between the leaders and the citizens. Nothing ain't looking good. Nothing looks solid. So that's the reason we're having this meeting again with the population, with the citizens, so we can see what we can do, because nothing ain't looking good, my brother.
I guess what would add to that, and what can be done to at least better control the outcome of what takes place? Because from what I saw, like, for example, one of the main issues people had was like the charging to cross the border and stuff. But it's like, because then you're doing a disservice to your same people that you're trying to fight for.
And this is where Isaf took a stand on that situation. Isaf took a stand, me personally, because again, it's in my community. Isaf took a stand and see how I could have assist in a better way. Because like I said, I support everything because I understand where it started from and where it is right now. So Isaf took a stand to help out in any way possible. The charging, all these things happen, which everybody complain about. We came together, we took a stand, it was like, okay, we cannot do it like that because it's affecting us, you know what I'm saying? So all of that was done, and it was like, okay, boom, we left everybody. I don't want to say we left because before people think I'm really, but yeah, I called, okay, because Isaf got a little heated for all that was going on because I was highly involved as well too. Where Isaf took a stand and called out on folks who was against whatever and let me know. So I gotta thank everybody that called me, that DM me, that even had members from the collectivity that holler at me and be like, okay, Tree, listen, what's happening there is looking real crazy. If I can try do it in this way, whatever. I really congrats everybody that gave me the opinion, whether it was good or bad. I asked for it, so I want to congratulate everybody that gave me the opinion. I took everything into consideration and shared it to the leaders of the strike so they can see what can be done if they decide to do other protests. Because prior to that, I ain't even mentioned, we had 2 peaceful protests a few months ago that was against what's happening right now. Peaceful protests. So that's what I'm saying, like, it had a lot of peaceful stuff, it had a lot of meeting that was done prior to the strike. So not to say, like, wake up one morning and boom, place locked down. There was a lot of things to avoid this, but it's like all the peaceful things we are doing is should do, brother. So like, boom, it's like, and it's like, okay, like, it's like, boy, sometimes we gotta do it this way to we gotta do it this way to be able to fly again.
I get where you're coming from, but I guess what from reading a lot of comments and stuff, people are concerned that one, those in need, for example, let's say people in French Quarter, if you're not able to leave it's like a food desert. You don't necessarily have the best access to the food and the services you need, whether it's banking, the post office, and so forth. So then you're locked into even if you're an entrepreneur as well, to benefit from your livelihood as best as you can. So probably it's because this is in a sense a norm, but then where do we now take a turn, a change of strategy? Because finally, I guess the final point is for me, in the interest of time, elections is coming up too. So I think that in itself may be a factor. Okay,
like again, after the strike, there were 2 meetings held. Again, so it don't, and this is where the meeting is for tonight. So then, because a lot of, like you mentioned, a lot of us, okay, it was complaining about real stuff that because I myself, I woke up in the morning and I couldn't go to work. I had to cancel my work and I couldn't leave. So I myself felt it. But it's just that, but like I so understand the situation. It's like, well, what can I do? What can I do? So just to cut that short, there's a meeting tonight again Whereas, so what happened don't reoccur again. So whereas you don't just wake up and then, okay, you can't leave, you can't go to work, you can't. So we're just trying to do it the best way possible. But like I told you earlier, it's like the only way to do things is like a strike, a protest, and that's the only time we get attention. Cause I myself, I'm doing my utmost best to make sure things go the right way in my community. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my utmost best to change the narrative where I can, because okay, I'm not in a position, but I have a voice, so my voice matters. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that.
Yeah, you have a platform.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I use what I can use to make it better out of where I'm from, my brother. You know.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, I guess listening to you, the bottom line is that communication factor with the leaders of the nation. Yeah, because it has to pass from constant meetings to something, you know, where there's less extremes and some common ground.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah. Okay. So any final words for you, man?
Well, I just want to touch back on the strike again, because that was really touchy, you know. So I just want people to understand, like, the strike didn't just take place, you know, that time. You know, there were months of not wanting this to happen, but nobody's listening. The leaders aren't listening, and if they are listening, they probably. But it's just crazy, you know. We have much time to touch on it, but it's just crazy, you know. It's just crazy, and to be honest, I'm not saying that okay, I want all the strike to happen, all the protests to happen, but we need a change. We need a change of narrative in all means necessary. With all means necessary, and like I told you earlier, they want us with nothing. And when it comes to me on a personal level, nobody ain't gonna make me godless. Nobody ain't gonna make me crazy. Nobody ain't gonna make me sick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if it's a way they try and do it, then it's okay, but willfully it's not happening. And slavery is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no longer people who are gonna sit back and watch ourselves being slave, and that's done with. I'm saying it. He's saying it. She's saying it. No, that's done with. That's done with. We want freedom. We want to live. We want to live how we're supposed to live, not how we have been told how to live.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so that indeed touches on another subject, which is definitely more leans on the part of colonialism. That is a discussion I'll definitely continue to have here on the program. And also, you know, I invited you and I had at least two other persons, you know, from the French side to give us an understanding of what's taking place. But I'll be, you know, bringing a range of individuals rather than personalities. Individuals, you know, to give a balanced perspective of what's taking place. Because indeed, you know, I believe that we are one island, and what happens on one side it can affect the other.
Can affect the other.
Yeah.
That's okay. So I just want to say, like, you know, mistakes do happen. You know what I'm saying? And I want to touch back on the strike again, because, you know, it's a really touching, it's a real serious situation. You know, like we mentioned earlier in the program, preventions are better than cure. You know. And if this was prevented, then all this chaos wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? And we and the leaders were trying to prevent this from happening. But when you don't understand when you don't listen to when people speak, when you don't listen to when the majority speaks, then it'll be a chaos. So my final words are just, you know, I want everybody to just live, you know, just live, just be happy, you know, love your life, take care of yourself, love yourself. Before saying that, give me 2 bags of, give me two. You're married, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. This is gorilla sea moss right here, I call it gorilla moss, you know what I'm saying? One for you and one for your wife. You know what I'm saying? This is food. This is seafood right here. This is my type of seafood. You know what I'm saying? Sea vegetables.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't worry, sea moss. I'm aware of the sea moss.
Okay, good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, grab yourself from. Take care of yourself, my brother. I want everybody to take care of yourself. Do not let these suckers trick you. Don't let these people trick you. Don't let these people take you away from what you believe in. What you believe in, stand firm in what you believe in, and live your life. Do not be fooled. Do not be tricked. And just live. Live how we're supposed to live. Eat the food you're supposed to eat. Take care of yourself, and let's live and be happy. Let's be peaceful with each other. Let's love love each other. Let's change the way we live with each other. Stop the bashing. Stop the criticisms. Like stop it, man. Just live and just love each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love all y'all to life. Let's go.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And be sure to, stay tuned for our next conversation. We will be featuring, more leaders from the French side to get an understanding of what's taking place. So I do hope that you guys, had some takeaways from this conversation, and do take care.